Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the transformative power of a simple daily habit, a habit that, when practiced consistently, can reshape the very structure of your life. This habit is not complicated, nor is it elusive. It's right there within your grasp, waiting for you to embrace it. And that habit is personal responsibility. Responsibility is the foundation of any meaningful life. To take responsibility means to acknowledge that your actions, your decisions, and the way you respond to the world around you ultimately shape your reality. It's the first step toward breaking free from the victim mentality that so many fall into. In any situation, whether good or bad, you always have the ability to control how you respond, what you learn, and the steps you take moving forward. Most people, when faced with challenges, are quick to look outward. They blame their circumstances, they blame the people around them, or they blame external forces. This is the default human response. It's easier to point fingers, to see ourselves as passive recipients of fate, and to believe that the world is working against us. But this mindset is ultimately disempowering. It strips us of our agency and prevents us from stepping into our full potential. Now, I'm not saying that external circumstances don't matter, they do. Life can be brutal, unpredictable, and downright unfair at times. But the crucial question is not whether the world is fair, but how we respond to it. This is where responsibility comes in. Responsibility means choosing how you show up, how you act, and how you think, regardless of what happens around you. It's about accepting that while you may not control the events that occur in your life, you control your reaction to them. This is where real power lies. Imagine for a moment that you are faced with a situation that seems completely out of your control. Perhaps you lose a job, face a health crisis, or experience a personal setback. It's easy to fall into despair and start blaming others, or the circumstances themselves. But let's be clear, while you cannot change what has happened, you can change how you move forward. The first step is to ask yourself, what am I responsible for here? It's about shifting from a mindset of helplessness to one of agency and ownership. In the case of losing a job, for example, you might feel betrayed or angry. But you can choose to see this situation differently. You can ask, what role did I play in this? Could I have performed differently? Could I have handled my responsibilities better? What can I learn from this experience so that I am better prepared next time? When you ask these kinds of questions, you are taking responsibility. You are reframing the situation from a defeat into an opportunity for growth. You are actively deciding that you will not be a passive player in your own life. The same principle applies to other life challenges, whether personal relationships, financial struggles, or anything else. It's about looking at yourself honestly and asking, what can I do? Responsibility is about identifying what is within your control and focusing your energy on that. It's easy to waste time and energy ruminating on things that are beyond your reach, but this accomplishes nothing. What matters is what you can influence. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you have to carry the entire weight of the world on your shoulders, nor does it mean you should blame yourself for things outside your control. It simply means that you are not waiting for someone else to solve your problems, to fix your life, or to make things right. It means you are stepping up, acknowledging your role in shaping your destiny, and deciding to do what you can to move forward no matter the circumstances. When you take responsibility for your life, you stop making excuses. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions, the right circumstances, or the perfect timing to take action. Instead, you begin to create the conditions you need. This is the essence of personal responsibility, understanding that while the world may not always cooperate with your desires, you still have the power to decide how to respond. You can take ownership of your actions, your mindset, and your future. Moreover, responsibility allows you to break free from the tyranny of victimhood. A victim is someone who sees themselves as powerless, as a passive observer of their own life. They see external forces as the cause of their suffering and wait for someone or something else to come and save them. But the truth is, no one is coming to rescue you. The only person who can change your life is you. The moment you take full responsibility for your life, you reclaim your power. You stop being at the mercy of life's unpredictability and start taking charge of your own journey. This shift in mindset is profound. It's the difference between living life as a passive observer and stepping into the role of an active creator. When you take responsibility, you empower yourself. You stop waiting for permission to live a great life, and you start living it on your own terms. And you stop making excuses, and you start making progress. And while this may not always be easy, it is always worth it. Taking responsibility is the gateway to personal freedom and growth. So ask yourself every day, what am I responsible for today? Not just the obvious things, work, relationships, personal goals, but the deeper, more existential aspects. What kind of person are you becoming through your actions? How are you contributing to the world around you? When you take full responsibility, you stop blaming others, stop complaining about your circumstances, and stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to live the life you know you can. The world opens up in ways you cannot even imagine until you begin to own your life in this way. Discipline in small things is often overlooked, dismissed as trivial or insignificant. Yet it is in these very small acts that true change begins. The idea that significant transformation happens only in the large, dramatic moments is a misconception that holds many people back. Real, lasting growth doesn't come from a single breakthrough or sudden epiphany. It comes from the small, consistent actions that you take day after day, no matter how mundane they may seem. To understand this, consider something as simple as making your bed every morning. It might seem trivial. It's a small task, one that most people may overlook or dismiss as unnecessary. But the simple act of making your bed sets the tone for the entire day. It's the first victory of the day. It's a small, easily achievable task that you can complete immediately upon waking, and when you do, it sends a powerful message to your brain you are in control of your environment. This small act of discipline establishes a sense of order and control, even if the rest of your day feels chaotic. Think about it. How often do we look at a cluttered, disorganized room and feel overwhelmed by it? A messy space can create mental clutter, which in turn makes it harder to focus and feel productive. But by taking the time to tidy up even in small ways, we begin to cultivate a sense of discipline and responsibility. We are no longer subject to the chaos around us. Instead, we are actively creating order. The power of discipline is that it helps you take control of your environment and your mindset, setting you up for success in other areas of your life. Small habits like making your bed don't just give you a fleeting sense of accomplishment, they are foundational. They are the building blocks of a disciplined life. It's easy to dismiss these small acts because they seem insignificant, but in reality, they are the foundation for all larger successes. If you cannot discipline yourself to do the little things, how can you expect to handle the big things? When you make discipline a habit in the small, everyday actions, you start to see it spill over into other aspects of your life. One of the most powerful aspects of small disciplines is that they compound over time. The effect of making your bed every morning may seem negligible at first, but after a week, a month, or a year, you start to notice a shift. Your environment feels more ordered, your mind feels clearer, and your sense of control over your life grows stronger. It's the same with other small actions. Writing down a to-do list every day, working out for just 20 minutes, or reading a book for 10 minutes, each of these actions, when done consistently, builds up to something much greater. They create momentum, which is crucial for progress. The discipline to follow through with these small tasks also trains your mind to focus on what's important. It teaches you how to prioritize and follow through on commitments. When you consistently take small actions, you start to develop the mental toughness needed to handle bigger challenges. It's easy to become discouraged or distracted by the overwhelming nature of large goals or projects. But by breaking them down into manageable, smaller tasks, you make them seem less daunting. The discipline to stick with small, everyday actions will give you the confidence and perseverance to tackle larger goals and obstacles in life. Moreover, the consistent practice of discipline builds self-esteem. Each time you follow through on a small action, you prove to yourself that you are capable, that you have the strength to meet your own standards. This self-assurance is crucial when facing larger challenges. If you can consistently follow through with the little things, you will trust yourself more when it comes to bigger decisions or more difficult tasks. Over time, this sense of self-trust becomes the foundation for greater achievements. Another essential element of discipline in small things is its ability to help you develop a routine. Routines bring structure to your day and allow you to focus on what matters without constantly having to make decisions. The brain loves routine. It reduces decision fatigue and allows you to conserve mental energy for more important matters. A routine creates predictability, which can be incredibly calming and productive, especially in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable. When you practice discipline in small things, you start to develop a structure for your day that keeps you on track and ensures that your time is being used in the most effective way possible. The power of small disciplines also extends to how you handle setbacks. Life is filled with unexpected challenges, and when things don't go as planned, it's easy to become discouraged. But the habits of discipline you develop through small, everyday actions create resilience. They teach you how to keep going, even when things don't unfold as you imagined. It's not about avoiding failure, but about learning how to bounce back and keep moving forward. The discipline to stick with small tasks, even when you don't feel like it, builds a mindset of perseverance and grit, qualities that are necessary for long-term success. So don't underestimate the power of small actions. The seemingly trivial things you do every day, whether it's making your bed, exercising, or reading a few pages of a book, are not just activities to pass the time. They are the building blocks of your future. The consistent practice of discipline in these small things is what ultimately leads to the transformation you seek. In every small action, you are training your mind, cultivating your resilience, and creating the foundation for success. These small habits, repeated over time, compound into significant change, and through them, you begin to see the person you are becoming. Life is chaotic. It's unpredictable, it's messy. And it often feels like the universe has a way of throwing curveballs at you when you least expect it. No matter how carefully you plan or how diligently you try to control your circumstances, the world has a way of reminding you that you don't have total dominion over it. You can't avoid the challenges, the setbacks, or the surprises that life throws at you. But the key question is, how do you respond to this chaos? This is where the habit of taking responsibility becomes crucial. It's not about trying to eliminate the chaos or avoid the difficulties. That would be impossible. Life is inherently unpredictable. The real power lies in how you engage with that unpredictability. Do you shrink from it? Do you run from it, hoping it will go away? Or do you face it with courage, resilience, and determination? Taking responsibility means embracing the messiness of life rather than resisting it. It means accepting that things will not always go according to plan and that the only thing you can truly control is your response. The chaos of life often feels overwhelming, but it also presents an opportunity. An opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to find strength in places you never thought possible. The moment you accept responsibility for your role in this chaotic world is the moment you stop being a passive victim of circumstance and start becoming an active participant in your own life. Every day, life presents a myriad of challenges, some big, some small. From a difficult conversation at work to a personal struggle or a global crisis, the events of the day can quickly spiral into chaos. But when you take responsibility, you don't wait for things to settle down. You don't wait for the storm to pass. Instead, you step into the chaos and ask yourself, what can I do to make this better? The key is not to avoid the chaos, but to confront it, learn from it, and use it to your advantage. Imagine you're facing a difficult situation at work, a project that's falling behind schedule, a colleague who's difficult to work with, or a crisis that you didn't see coming. The natural instinct in these moments is often to react emotionally, to blame someone, to panic, to let the stress overwhelm you. But when you take responsibility, you choose a different path. Instead of reacting, you respond. You assess the situation calmly, figure out what's within your control, and then take the necessary steps to address it. You stop looking for someone or something to blame, and you focus on what you can do to move forward. This mindset shift is a powerful tool in facing life's chaos. When you take responsibility, you don't give power to external factors. You stop being at the mercy of the unpredictable forces around you. Instead, you take back your power. You stop waiting for someone else to fix things or waiting for circumstances to improve on their own. You step up and take charge of your part in the situation. You make decisions, you take action, and you start to see progress. Another aspect of facing life's chaos is understanding that setbacks and failures are not signs of defeat. They are inevitable parts of life. No one is immune to failure or disappointment. But it is in how you face these setbacks that your true character is revealed. When you take responsibility, you stop using failure as an excuse to give up. Instead, you see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. A setback is not the end of the road, it's a chance to adjust your course, to refine your approach, and to strengthen your resolve. Taking responsibility also means being prepared to adapt. Life doesn't go according to plan, and things will rarely unfold as you expect. But when you take responsibility, you accept that you cannot control every outcome, and you learn to adjust. Flexibility is one of the greatest skills you can develop in a world that is constantly changing. Rather than clinging to rigid plans or expectations, you learn to go with the flow and respond to life's challenges in real time. Furthermore, responsibility allows you to create a sense of stability in the midst of chaos. By choosing how to respond to difficult situations, you begin to find a sense of internal peace. When everything around you is uncertain, you can still find a sense of clarity and control in your own actions. This inner stability becomes a guiding force, helping you navigate the turbulence of life with calm and confidence. It's this sense of personal agency that allows you to stand firm in the face of adversity, knowing that no matter what happens, you have the power to decide how you will react. This habit of taking responsibility also helps to cultivate resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover from difficulties, to bounce back from setbacks, and to keep moving forward even when things aren't going well. Life's chaos doesn't get easier, but when you take responsibility, you develop the strength to face it head on. The more you practice taking responsibility, the more resilient you become. You learn to bounce back from adversity quicker and with greater strength each time. At the end of the day, it's important to understand that chaos is a natural part of life. It's not something to be feared or avoided, it's something to be embraced. Life is unpredictable, and that's what makes it so rich with possibility. When you take responsibility for your life, you stop being at the mercy of that unpredictability. You learn how to engage with it, how to learn from it, and how to use it as fuel for your growth. The chaos of life doesn't have to control you. It can be a powerful force for personal transformation if you choose to face it with courage, responsibility, and resilience. When you take responsibility for your life, you're not just altering your own path, you're impacting the world around you in ways you may never fully realize. Every choice, every action, and every decision you make ripples out beyond you, creating a legacy that extends far beyond your own lifetime. This is the power of responsibility. It's not just about you. It's about what you contribute to the world, the people in your life, and the community you're part of. The decisions you make today shape the future, and when you take full ownership of those decisions, you begin to create a legacy that matters. Too often, people think of their lives as isolated from the greater world. They focus inwardly on their own goals, struggles, and aspirations without realizing that every action they take, no matter how small, affects others. Taking responsibility means understanding that your behavior, your mindset, and the way you show up in the world have a profound impact on the people around you. The way you carry yourself, the choices you make, and the way you treat others leaves an indelible mark on your environment. Think about how you show up in your relationships, whether with family, friends, or colleagues. Every interaction you have with another person is an opportunity to shape that relationship and contribute to the world around you. If you approach relationships with honesty, respect, and integrity, you create an atmosphere of trust and mutual respect. If you approach them with care and empathy, you create bonds that can withstand life's inevitable challenges. In this way, your decisions, your words, and your actions create a legacy that lives on in the people you interact with. They will carry those lessons, those values, and those examples into their own lives, perpetuating the impact of your actions long after they've passed. Moreover, when you take responsibility, you begin to recognize your role in something larger than yourself, the community, society, and even the world. You understand that your actions contribute to the greater good, that the way you live your life affects others in ways that go beyond what you can see. Whether it's the impact of your work, your creativity, your generosity, or your leadership, every action contributes to the web of human existence. Responsibility means acknowledging that your life is not an isolated endeavor, it's part of a larger picture. Your actions ripple out, creating a chain of influence that extends far beyond you. When you live with this awareness, you begin to see yourself as a contributor to the greater good, not just a passive consumer of life's offerings. In addition to shaping the relationships around you, responsibility also means creating a legacy that can inspire others. When you take responsibility for your own growth and development, you become a model for others. Your dedication to improvement, your ability to overcome challenges, and your willingness to take ownership of your life sends a powerful message to those around you. It shows them that change is possible, that transformation can happen, and that the life they want to live is within their reach too. The more you take responsibility for your actions, the more you become a living testament to what's possible when you embrace your own power. You show others that they too can take control of their lives and create the life they desire. The legacy you leave doesn't have to be grand or monumental. It doesn't have to be something that changes the world on a global scale. Often, the most significant legacies are those that are built quietly, over time, in the small, everyday actions that affect the lives of those around you. It's the kindness you show to a stranger, the support you offer a friend in need, the integrity you bring to your work. These seemingly small acts can accumulate and have a profound effect, creating a ripple of positive change that spreads far beyond your immediate circle. Taking responsibility for your legacy also means thinking about the kind of impact you want to have, both now and in the future. What values do you want to instill in others? How do you want to be remembered? The choices you make today will shape the legacy you leave behind. If you act with integrity, generosity, and purpose, your legacy will reflect those values. If you take responsibility for your own development, helping others along the way, you create a legacy that extends through generations. Your influence may not always be visible or tangible, but it will resonate in the lives you touch. This also ties into the idea of leaving the world better than you found it. When you take responsibility, you don't just focus on your own success. You begin to recognize your role in making the world a better place. This doesn't mean you need to make radical changes or perform grand acts. Often it's the small, consistent choices that have the greatest impact. Choosing to be kind, ethical, and supportive in every interaction, no matter how insignificant it may seem at the time, gradually builds a foundation of positive change. These small actions create a web of goodness that grows and multiplies over time, leaving the world better for having had you in it. This is where many people fall short. They start strong, full of enthusiasm and ambition, only to abandon their efforts when the results don't come immediately. The world we live in today is one of instant gratification, where we want everything now. We are surrounded by messages that promise quick fixes, shortcuts, and overnight success. But the truth is that real, lasting success requires consistent effort over time. It requires patience and persistence. It requires that you trust the process, even when the results are not immediately apparent. Imagine trying to build a house. You can't simply lay one brick and expect the structure to stand. You have to lay brick after brick, day in and day out. Each brick may seem insignificant on its own, but over time, those small efforts add up. Before you know it, you've built a strong, solid foundation that can withstand the test of time. This is how success works in life. Each task, no matter how small it seems, contributes to the larger picture. The key is to keep going, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Consistency also means developing habits that support your long-term vision. It's about creating routines that set you up for success. Whether it's exercising every day, reading for 30 minutes each morning, or working on a project every evening, these small, repeated actions compound over time and create profound change. The person who shows up every day, even when they don't feel like it, is the one who eventually achieves their goals. It's the accumulation of those consistent efforts that leads to mastery, to progress, and ultimately to success. This kind of discipline doesn't just apply to work or achievement, it applies to all areas of life. Whether it's in relationships, health, or personal growth, consistency is what builds long-term results. You can't expect to have meaningful relationships if you don't invest in them consistently. Similarly, you can't expect to be healthy if you only take care of your body sporadically. In the same way, personal growth is not a result of one grand moment of insight, it's a product of daily self-reflection, practice, and development. Every time you make the choice to grow, even if it's just a small step, you are laying the foundation for future success. Consistency also teaches us the value of resilience. In a world that prizes quick results and instant success, it's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned. The key to overcoming setbacks and failures is persistence, the ability to keep going even when you encounter obstacles. When you embrace consistency, you train yourself to focus on the process rather than the outcome. You stop obsessing over instant results and start valuing the steady, ongoing effort that leads to eventual success. You learn to see failure not as an end, but as part of the process. Every failure is an opportunity to learn and improve, and with each failure you move one step closer to your goal. There's also a deep sense of empowerment that comes from consistency. The more you show up, day after day, the more you realize that you are in control of your destiny. You may not be able to control everything in life, but you can control your actions. You can control the effort you put in, the choices you make, and the habits you cultivate. This sense of agency is what gives you the strength to keep going when things get tough. It reminds you that success is not just about talent or luck, it's about the willingness to put in the work and stay committed to your vision, no matter how difficult it may seem at times. Moreover, the power of consistency lies in the fact that it builds trust. Trust in yourself, in your ability to achieve your goals, and in the process. As you consistently show up and put in the work, you begin to trust that the efforts will pay off in the long run. You start to see the compound effect of your actions, and the results become a reflection of your dedication. This trust in the process is what enables you to keep going, even when the path is unclear or when progress seems slow. The more you trust that the small actions you're taking are leading somewhere, the more motivated and focused you become. At the heart of consistency is a deep belief in the importance of your goals and in the process of achieving them. It's not about getting it right the first time or achieving perfection. It's about showing up, doing the work, and believing that each small effort contributes to the bigger picture. Over time, these consistent actions build momentum, and before you know it, you've created the life you want to live. In the end, success is not about waiting for the perfect moment or hoping for a lucky break. It's about the daily grind, the discipline to keep moving forward, and the resilience to push through challenges. It's about creating habits that support your long-term vision and showing up, no matter how difficult it may seem. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of countless small actions taken over time. And when you embrace the power of consistency, you begin to realize that you have everything you need to create the life you desire. In conclusion, the power to change your life is within your hands, and it begins with the small, consistent actions you take every single day. The habits you choose, the responsibilities you embrace, and the commitment you make to yourself and your goals are the building blocks of lasting transformation. Success is not a result of grand gestures or moments of luck, it is the cumulative effect of daily effort, discipline, and resilience.